Hey everyone, welcome back to Alpha Insights. I'm Kristen, and we're digging into how to spot when your quant signals stop behaving the way they used to. And hey, if you have questions while you're listening, drop them at stockalpha.ai.
And I'm Harper. Quick note, it's Sunday and US markets are closed today. So we're talking about monitoring and strategy ops, not any live price moves.
Right, so the topic is concept drift alarms. Basically, we're building a smoke detector for alpha decay. The real question here is, how do you notice a signal has quietly stopped working before it hurts returns?
Exactly. Models live inside markets that change. Without a monitoring layer, a strategy can look fine in paper P&L until it suddenly stops working. And by then, capital can already be at risk.
A good first move is to pick a minimal set of health KPIs. Not 20 things, just 3 to 7. Think signal mean and volatility, hit rate by decile, a rolling Sharpe or information ratio, turnover and execution slippage, and maybe residual autocorrelation. Also keep an eye on upstream data quality, missing values, bad timestamps.
And design thresholds that make sense statistically and for the business. Use historical confidence bands or convert changes into z-scores. How big a drop in rolling Sharpe is actionable? There's no single answer, but calibrate so you don't drown in false alarms.
Then add statistical detectors at 2 levels. Feature level tests to see if inputs shifted, and label level tests to see if the predictive link to future returns broke.
For feature level checks, use Population Stability Index or PSI. PSI above 0.2 is moderately concerning, and above 0.4 is high concern. For continuous features, the Kolmogorov-Smirnov test gives you a p-value. Change point algorithms, PELT or Bayesian methods, find structural breaks, and residual-based tests like QSUM or Page-Hinckley catch sustained predictive decay. Page-Hinckley does sound dramatic, but it works.
When you run lots of tests, you get false positives. Use false discovery rate controls, like Benjamini-Hochberg or family-wise error approaches, and require corroboration before automated remediation. For example, require PSI above 0.3 and a rolling Sharpe z-score below -2 before you reduce sizes.
Statistical alerts are a warning, but you still need operational validation. 2 tools I always push for are rolling calibration tests and live shadow backtests. For ranking signals, monitor a Spearman rank correlation on a rolling window. For probabilistic models, use calibration curves and Breyer scores.
Shadow backtests are huge. Run your strategy logic in production without executing real trades. Simulate orders, realistic fills and slippage, and track hypothetical P&L over short horizons like 30, 60, and 90 trading days. Pair them with small, controlled executions so your simulator stays honest.
And use A/B control groups. Freeze a portion of the portfolio with an older model version as a control. If both production and control decay, it points to a market regime shift. If only production decays, it's likely a model or data issue.
A couple real-world style examples to make it concrete. Imagine a 60-day momentum signal that historically had about a 1.2 annualized information ratio. Over 45 trading days, the rolling IR drops to about 0.25, and PSI on price change features climbs above 0.35. A shadow backtest shows forward returns fall by about 70% versus the reference period. That's enough evidence to throttle new entries and start a review.
Or a multi-factor model with heavy exposure to Apple and Microsoft. Residual skew for Apple drifts up, KS tests flag the score distribution, and a shadow backtest shows Apple positions underperform predicted returns by about 120 basis points per month. Turns out a data source change altered adjusted close calculations. Fixed the pipeline, and calibration came back in about 2 weeks.
So how should the system respond? Design staged reversible actions. First, alert and notify research and trading ops. Then, reduce aggressiveness. Cap position sizes or scale down new allocations. Next, stop new entries for the affected signals while existing positions are managed under risk limits. Quarantine the signal and preserve all raw inputs and simulated trades. If needed, roll back to a previously validated model or switch to an ensemble fallback. And define automatic rollback criteria. For example, restore full trading when rolling calibration metrics return within 2 standard deviations of baseline for 20 consecutive trading days. Yeah, that's a good point.
Keep humans in the loop for major capital decisions. Automated actions should be conservative by default. Also avoid common mistakes. Don't overreact to short-term noise. Don't monitor so many metrics that you get swamped. And never skip multiple testing corrections. Always archive data for postmortems.
Right. Interesting.
Quick FAQ wrap-up. Response speed depends on severity. Mild alerts mean higher monitoring cadence. Strong corroborated alerts warrant reducing new allocations within 24 hours and quarantining the signal while you diagnose. If you're resource-constrained, start with PSI for features and a rolling information ratio or Spearman correlation for label-level decay. For window sizes, balance sensitivity and stability. Common choices are 30, 60, and 90 trading days for performance and 20 to 60 days for distribution checks. And yes, you can automate retraining for low-risk pipelines, but require human sign-off for redeployment on large, real-money strategies.
So to summarize, pick a compact set of KPIs. Combine distributional and residual detectors. Validate with rolling calibration and shadow backtests. And stage your operational responses so you protect capital and preserve learnings.
Start simple, iterate, and make sure you keep the data you need for diagnostics. The goal isn't to eliminate every alarm. It's to have a repeatable, disciplined process that keeps model risk under control.
Got questions? We'd love to hear from you. Head over to stockalpha.ai, where you can ask us anything and we'll answer live. And while you're there, check out more market content.
Thanks for listening. See you next time on Alpha Insights.